Hey everyone, it's a new week and I have a new project for you. So today I want to update this a little sideboard. This is actually a matching one for the nightstands I done last week, and I want to modernize it a little bit. So I will start by flipping this on its top because I want to remove the legs and to replace them. The leg removed, and these are the new ones. So the next step is to clean this one. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the doors because I want to clean the hinges, and this is my first time using a power tool to remove the screws, so I decided to try myself. Easy peasy. And don't forget to put all your screws in a safe place because you don't want to lose them. Okay, so my piece is nice and dry, and you probably are asking yourself what I am going to do with this. So my idea for this piece is to create a dipped look, which is very popular lately, and I want to sand down to raw wood the top, and I think about until this point and all around, just to create like a line all around the piece, and the rest of the piece will be painted in a shade of green. I didn't decide yet if I'm going to use a lighter shade or a darker shade, but I will see which one passed better. So now I will pull out the drawers and I will take them outside to sand them, because I also want to sand all this part around the drawers, because as you can see, these drawers are closing inside, so I won't paint them. I will just let them raw wood, and I think this will look very nice. So let's start sanding. Okay, so I'm done sanding with 80 grit sandpaper. I kind of like this veneer, even though it's a bit darker than I was expecting, but I will see, because I may change the color. I may go with the darker shade of green, but let's see. Now I will move to 120 grit sandpaper, then to 240, and after that I have to do some small repairs. I have some veneer chipping here. Okay guys, it took me about 1.5 hours to completely sand down this top, but guys, look how beautiful is this. I'm just in love. I never saw such a beautiful veneer, and this is veneer. So this is sanded with only 80 grit sandpaper. I still have to smooth it out with 120 and 240, but this veneer has also some small imperfections, because this type of furniture, they used to have a glass plate on, and these places was just small holders with nails. And there is another thing. Even though this veneer looks very light, look, this is a trick. The lighting here is not so good, but in the real this wood looks a bit more reddish, and I want it to be a little bit lighter. And also the problem is that the veneer on the top is not matching the veneer, look here, the veneer on drawers. So on drawers is much darker. So I decided to do a super light wash over with a beige color. So I will show you later what I'm talking about. I just want to make this a little bit lighter on color, just to match a bit more so that the rest of the piece. And I applied my paint wash, and now I will just wipe away the excess with the wood grain direction. It's very important. You can wipe as much or as less as you want, and you can let this completely dry and then to go one more time over if you want them lighter. So this is a technical action, like a stain, like a wood stain. Now I need to measure and to see where my line, so for the deep look, is coming. Now I will measure. And I'm going to place my band up above these points. So this lines needs to be perfect straight. And I'm not a master of doing straight line. This is for sure. So we are done with the drawer. I will put actually one more strip. I would recommend you to use a wider band, taping band, but unfortunately I don't know where is my wider one, so I will use 2 strips of a smaller one. Okay, so now next step is I want to seal this band with some top coat, and I have some leftovers from this Dixie Belle clear coating flat. So if you have any leftovers, just feel free to use them, because it doesn't matter, we will cover this anyway with primer. So I will first of all make sure that all the edges of this taping band are nice in place, and now I will start from the top to the bottom. This is going to seal this line here. This will prevent any bleeding through of your paint and of your primer, and this way you will get some nice and crisp lines. I applied 3 coats of primer off camera, so I will put the primer I used in the description below. Now I will take some 240 grit sandpaper and I will lightly sand the primer, just because I want to get rid of any small imperfections, and we are ready to apply the paint. Okay, so now it's time to finally apply some paint. I chose the color Old Green by Lignocolor, which is a very neutral and very soft and vintage color. And I will apply this with my Uber synthetic brush. Since I'm going for a smooth finish on this one, I'm going to apply my paint in thin coats and trying to smooth it out as much as I can. So as you can see, even though on the edges I apply my paint in different directions, I smooth everything out with a long stroke. This piece is a terrible bleeder, so just for your information, I applied 3 coats of blocking primer. So this top is nice and dry, and before applying the top coat I will go over with some 240 grit sandpaper, because I used very watery stain on top, and the surface is a little bit rough, so I need to smooth this out before I apply the top coat. And now it's time to finally seal our paint work, and I will use this product, Get or Hide, which is a finish for the surfaces like this, like tops, like the surfaces you use and abuse more. And I have to tell you guys that I am a little bit nervous about that, because to me it's so much easier to work with waxes. So yeah, finger crossed. I hope this will work and it won't turn into a big mess. So for the larger surfaces I will use this blue sponge by Dixie Bells, or Dixie Bells Get or Hide sponge, and I will damp it. You don't want to get it really wet, you just want to your sponge to be a bit damp. And I poured some top coat into this plastic plate, so I would recommend you to use something larger, but this is what I had on hand. So this is the amount I have on my sponge, and I will just remove the excess. You really want to work with small amounts and to work really quickly, and don't overwork it, and go with the wood grain direction. So if you miss a spot, it's not a big deal, because you can you will feel that with your next coat. So my second coat is nice and dry, guys, and here I ran into a problem. I don't know if you can see, but in the light I have this, it's tricky. So this is what I was actually afraid. That's why I don't like to use liquid top coat. So now I will try to fix it. So first of all, I will lightly sand everything with some 240 grit sandpaper, and then I will try to apply another coat, a more watery one, and let's see if this works. In the worst scenario case, I will just have to sand down the entire top coat, maybe to do some touch-ups, and then just to wax everything. My trick didn't work, so guess what? I decided to add another thin coat of paint on top of this top coat and just let it dry and apply wax. So I'm going now to sand this lightly with some 240 grit sandpaper to reduce the brush strokes, and once it's dry I will just put wax. Hopefully this video will be ready in time. And now it's time to apply some protection. I already applied one coat of wax here, and now I will apply the second one, and that will be enough. I think this piece has enough protection. So I'm using my Bondex clear wax, and I'm going to apply it along with my Lignocolor wax brush. Okay, now I'm using this microfiber cloth just to remove the excess. And waxing, make sure that you removed all the excess wax from all the corners, because otherwise it will create some build-ups. Now let's put the doors back. So I put this small piece of wallpaper here because I don't want my door to scratch this lip underneath. It doesn't scratch, so I can put now all the screws back. I also had my husband helping me to put the legs in place, so he told me that if I will film him again, he will never help me with this stuff, so I have to learn this as well. And we are done here. This one was definitely not an easy flip, a long one. I learned a couple of lessons, but I nailed it, and I really love the way this piece turned out. So if you guys like it, please give me some thumbs up, leave me a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.